Imagine waking up tomorrow and nothing in your bank account has changed, but somehow you feel different. You walk taller, you speak with calm certainty, you look at your life and instead of panic, there's peace. No miracle money appeared overnight, but your mind, your inner world, has been flooded with something priceless, the knowing that wealth is already yours. What if I told you that this feeling alone is the starting point of every fortune? That before any riches show up in your life, they must first show up in your thoughts. Stay with me, because once you understand this, you'll stop chasing money and start attracting it with the silent power of your mind. Close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, what is the true currency of wealth? Is it the number in your bank account? Is it the gold stacked in vaults? Or the cash neatly folded in your wallet? Or could it be something more powerful, more elusive, and infinitely more creative? Your thoughts. The world has taught us to measure wealth by what we can touch, count, and deposit. But those who understand the true laws of creation know that wealth begins in the invisible realm of the mind. Before it ever shows up in your hands, it has already bloomed in your imagination. If you desire to change the conditions of your financial life, you must first change the conditions of your inner world. You must flood your mind with rich thoughts and then allow the external world, the slow follower, to catch up. You don't chase wealth, you don't beg for it, you don't prove yourself to it, you become it. You become the one who expects wealth to find them. Why? Because your thoughts are no longer rehearsing lack, fear, or limitation. You have replaced them with images of abundance, sensations of security, and a deep knowing that all you need is already yours in the unseen. The mistake most people make is that they try to change their outer world without first altering the frequency of their mind. They open bank apps to feel stressed. They look at bills and rehearse failure. They talk about their struggles and wonder why money stays distant. But money doesn't respond to fear. It's drawn to power. Not the power of force, but the power of belief. You are not meant to live in poverty. You are not meant to suffer over finances. You are not here to scramble for pennies while the universe offers oceans of plenty. You are a vessel of infinite imagination, and what you fill your consciousness with will determine the life you experience. If your mind is drenched in wealth, your life will overflow with its evidence. Imagine living a life where every decision is based on possibility, not limitation. Where you don't ask, can I afford it, but do I truly desire it? Where money becomes a reflection of your inner abundance, not a dictator of your options. That is not a fantasy. That is a reality waiting for those who dare to think differently. Flooding your mind with rich thoughts is not about daydreaming. It's not about empty fantasies. It's a spiritual practice, a mental discipline, a way of choosing faith over fear, vision over memory. It is declaring with your inner world, I am already rich, and trusting that the outer world must comply. When you begin this practice, your current conditions may scream in protest. The numbers may not change right away. People may not believe you, but hold firm. Wealth always flows to the mind that refuses to think poor. Your bank will catch up. It must. The outer is always the echo of the inner. So start now. Don't wait until you're comfortable. Don't wait until the money appears to feel rich. Feel it now. Think it now. Live from it now. And then watch what follows. Every fortune that exists in the physical world was first deposited in the unseen vault of the mind. Before skyscrapers touched the clouds, before cars rode down highways, and before digital empires rose on screens. We must remember each began as a mere thought, a flicker of vision, a mental idea. The outer wealth is just the delayed reflection of the inner riches. And this is the secret most people never uncover. Your mind pays first, long before your bank ever does. The universe does not respond to poverty in your wallet. It responds to the belief of wealth in your mind. When you consistently think thoughts of abundance, security, ease, and opulence, you are writing invisible checks in your consciousness. These mental checks are guaranteed by your faith, backed by the treasury of your imagination, and delivered to your physical life in divine timing. But only those who understand the law of mental causation can cash them. Poor people often believe that their lack of money gives them permission to think in lack, but this is how they remain trapped. They allow what they see to dictate what they believe. But the wealthy think differently. They use what they believe to dictate what they eventually see. The mental bank pays first, and they treat their inner deposits with more seriousness than their physical savings account. Every day you are making deposits, consciously or unconsciously. When you worry about bills, you are depositing fear. When you complain about not having enough, you are depositing limitation. But when you affirm silently, I always have more than I need, or my wealth is growing even now, you are investing in an account that will pay interest in the form of opportunity, ideas, people, and circumstances. And that payment is inevitable if you don't withdraw it. With doubt, the moment you shift from begging reality to change, to commanding it from your inner bank, you become powerful. You don't look for signs, you become the sign. And that's when wealth starts knocking. That's when money starts following you, because you've already paid yourself in full in your imagination. Most people are bankrupt in their mind before they are ever broke in the world. But you can reverse that. You can become rich on the inside and let the bank catch up. What you feel is what you invite. Your emotions are not passive, they are creative. They are not random, they are deliberate transmitters. Every feeling you repeat, every emotional state you dwell in becomes a signal that the universe reads and responds to. And when it comes to wealth, this truth is everything. Money flows where security, peace, and expectation already live. Emotion is the frequency that tunes your life to its incoming reality. If your inner world is filled with stress, desperation, and self-doubt, then even when money arrives, it won't stay, because the emotional vibration you offer repels the very thing you say you want. On the other hand, if you can learn to cultivate the emotional tone of wealth before it arrives, then you create a magnetic pull that wealth can't ignore. It's not about faking feelings. It's about choosing them ahead of proof. Let's get practical. When you think about money, what arises? Anxiety or appreciation? Fear or gratitude? Resentment or joy? These feelings aren't just momentary reactions. They are instructions to the universe. If you feel that money is hard to get, always fleeting, or comes with guilt, then that becomes the experience mirrored back to you. But when you feel that money is easy, natural, and a blessing to receive, you open yourself to a different script, one written in wealth's language. One of the most powerful ways to change your emotional frequency is to rehearse emotions that match the life you want. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and ask, how would I feel if I already had it? Then feel it, not in a rushed way, but deeply. Breathe into the peace, smile into the satisfaction, rest in the security. The more often you do this, the more you train your inner world to normalize wealth. And once it's normal inside, it shows up outside. Money does not answer logic, it answers energy. And your emotional energy is the most consistent signal you're sending out every second of the day. That's why some people work hard and stay broke, while others seem to do less and stay rich. The key isn't effort, it's emotional alignment. Wealth isn't just physical, it's spiritual. and you magnetize it through the feelings you rehearse, not the circumstances you endure. When you live in the emotional atmosphere of abundance, the outer world must organize itself to match your inner climate. Because you aren't trying to get rich anymore. You've already felt rich for so long, it would be unnatural for money not to follow. Your words are not just sound vibrations. They are spiritual declarations. Every sentence you speak about your life carries a blueprint of your beliefs, and the world around you quietly begins to build according to that plan. The power of spoken words is not symbolic, it's literal. When you speak as if you already own the life you desire, you place yourself in the role of the creator, not the beggar, and creation always follows authority. Most people speak from their past or present circumstances. They say, I'm broke. I can't afford that. I'm trying to make ends meet. But what they don't realize is that these words are not simply describing their reality, they are cementing it. Every repetition makes it more solid, more true, more inescapable. Their words keep them trapped, not because the world is cruel, but because their tongue agrees with their fears more than their faith. To attract wealth, you must speak from the place where wealth already exists, in your mind. Instead of saying, I hope I can be rich, say, I am learning to think like the wealthy. Instead of repeating, I can't afford this, say, I choose to focus my resources wisely. These phrases do more than change your mood. They shift your identity, because the more you speak from a place of power, the more you become that power. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between fact and imagination. It accepts repetition as truth. So when you consistently speak as if something is already yours, your subconscious aligns with it. Your beliefs shift, your actions adjust, and soon your environment mirrors the change. Speaking rich words is not about lying, it's about planting seeds. And if you nurture them with faith, they grow into the garden of your new life. Many of the world's most successful people were once in poverty, but their language never reflected it. Even when they had nothing, they refused to speak like they were defeated. Why? Because they understood the invisible mechanics of creation. They knew that words are the first material form of thought, and that spoken belief becomes living experience. You don't have to scream your dreams. You don't have to convince others. You simply speak the life you're building, softly and consistently. You say, I'm becoming wealthier every day. Money flows to me in ways I never expected. My life is abundant and expanding. These aren't just affirmations. They are verbal contracts between your spirit and your future. Speak them until your mind believes them. Then your bank will too. The mind doesn't know the difference between reality and vividly imagined experience. That's the secret doorway into wealth. You don't have to wait for it to come to you. You can visit it every day with your imagination. Visualization is not fantasy, it's mental rehearsal. It's practicing the vibration of wealth until it becomes your new emotional home. And when it does, life begins to unfold in ways that match what you've already lived on the inside. The most successful people in the world, athletes, entrepreneurs, inventors, all have one thing in common. They see the outcome before they ever achieve it. They close their eyes and feel the result. They taste victory in the silence of their mind long before the world sees it. Why? Because they understand that reality bends to inner clarity. You can't hold a result in your hand until you first held it in your mind. If you want to transform your financial reality, begin by dedicating time each day to visualizing it. Sit in silence. Shut off the noise of lack and pressure. Then picture yourself living your ideal life. See the digits in your account. Watch yourself walking confidently into a store, Purchasing freely. Imagine checking your mailbox and receiving a check you weren't expecting. Feel the lightness of being debt-free. Let these images become real, not just in your eyes, but in your emotions. The key is not just to see these visions, but to feel them. Visualization without feeling is like planting a seed without water. The emotion activates the signal. When you smile, sigh in relief, or feel your posture shift during the practice, your mind is accepting the new reality. And once your inner world accepts it as truth, your outer world starts searching for ways to make it real. You can do this for 5 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. It doesn't require hours. It requires sincerity, consistency, faith. You are not forcing results, you are allowing them by becoming emotionally familiar with them. The more often you visit this place of wealth in your mind, the more your mind begins to accept it as normal. And once it's normal, your life must reflect it. Daily visualization is wealth practice. It's how you build the muscles of belief. You don't need physical proof to start, you just need mental permission. And once you grant it, the world begins to move. Not because you're chasing money, but because money is responding to the world you already built in your imagination. Your life is the mirror of the stories you tell yourself. If you want to change the reflection, you must first rewrite the script. Most people unknowingly live in mental loops of scarcity, repeating thoughts, beliefs, and inner dialogue that reinforce a sense of lack, struggle, and limitation. These loops don't need to be loud. They're often quiet, familiar whispers like, "It's always hard for me," "People like me never get rich," or "Money doesn't stay long with me." These phrases become self-fulfilling prophecies. The mind, being obedient, says, "Yes, that's true," and organizes your behavior and experiences to confirm it again and again. But the good news is this: loops can be broken. Scarcity narratives can be replaced with stories of abundance, possibility, and expansion. This doesn't require evidence in your external world, only willingness in your internal one. You don't wait for your bank balance to approve your new mindset. You choose the mindset first, knowing the outer will follow like a shadow. An abundant narrative sounds different. It says things like, "Money loves showing up in my life. I attract prosperity effortlessly. I was born to live in overflow." These statements may feel awkward at first, especially if they clash with your current reality. But they are not lies, they are seeds. They are new loops being installed, and the more you rehearse them, the more natural they become. You have to become the guardian of your inner speech. Every time an old scarcity story arises, catch it, pause, interrupt it. Then replace it with the sentence of power. If you think there's never enough, respond with, "Everything I need is already on its way." If you hear yourself saying, "I'm bad with money," declare instead, "I am learning to manage wealth wisely." This is a delusion, it's creation. You're not escaping reality, you're directing it. Think of your inner world as a radio station. If you're tuned into Lack FM, you'll keep receiving broadcasts of worry, fear, and restriction. But the moment you switch the station to Abundance FM, your entire emotional environment changes. You begin to receive ideas, encounters, and opportunities that match your new vibration. The most transformative shift happens when you stop identifying as someone trying to be rich and start identifying as someone who already is, internally. Your story is the foundation. You get to decide what it says. Rewrite it with intention, and you will no longer be a prisoner of the past. You will be the author of your wealth. The biggest illusion that keeps people stuck in lack is the belief that wealth is something they must wait for. Someday I'll be rich, they say. Maybe in 5 years. Once I get that job. Once I save enough. Once I catch a break. But this kind of thinking pushes abundance further away. It creates a mental distance between who you are and what you want. The longer you wait for wealth to arrive, the longer it delays because you're constantly affirming that it's not here yet. But here's the truth that transforms. Wealth is never in the future. It exists only in the now. Right now, in this moment, you can choose to dwell in the feeling of abundance. You don't need proof. You don't need permission. You only need awareness. Awareness that your state of being determines your state of living. The future is just a concept. It has no real substance except what you feed it from today's vibration. If you habitually think of wealth as something out there, in some distant tomorrow, you trap yourself in a perpetual state of becoming rather than being. But once you say, I am abundant now, even if the world hasn't caught up yet, you collapse the distance. You invite the reality to manifest in your life, not as a reward, but as a reflection. Start acting like the wealthy version of yourself now. That doesn't mean reckless spending or fake luxury. It means embodying the mindset, confidence, and decision-making of someone who already has more than enough. Walk with certainty. Make choices with intention. Stop speaking with anxiety. Dress how you want to feel. Respect your space, your schedule, and your standards. This is how wealth becomes familiar, not later, but today. When you carry the vibration of I have instead of I hope to have, you tune your subconscious to match that reality. Your brain starts filtering information differently. You notice possibilities you ignored before. You attract people who reflect your new identity, not because you're pretending, but because you've chosen to be what you once thought you had to wait for. The truth is, the only moment you ever have power is the present one. And if you can anchor yourself into abundance right now, through gratitude, imagination, and belief, you'll discover that the future is just a delayed mirror of how deeply you lived your wealth today. Stop waiting. Start embodying. Let the world catch up to the richness you've already decided to become. There's a gap between imagining wealth and seeing it show up in your life. That gap can be terrifying. It's the space where doubt creeps in, where the bank account still looks the same and the people around you still talk the same language of lack. In that space, it's easy to think that all your mental work isn't working, that your visualizations are pointless, that you are foolish to believe. But it's in this very space, between thought and form, where the most sacred tool must rise. Faith. Faith is not blind optimism. Faith is inner certainty without outer proof. It's the ability to stand in a reality that looks unchanged and still declare that everything has already shifted. It's waking up with nothing visible and saying, "Thank you for the abundance already mine." Faith is not passive, it's active, intentional, and spiritual. It's what holds your mind steady when the world tries to shake it loose. Thoughts are powerful, emotions are magnetic, but faith is what carries those thoughts across the invisible realm into physical manifestation. Faith is the bridge between your rich inner world and the external evidence that must eventually follow. If you collapse that bridge with fear, impatience, or disbelief, you delay the arrival of your wealth. But if you hold the bridge strong, even as storms rage beneath it, your reward must come. This is where many give up. They plant the seed of prosperity, but when it doesn't sprout overnight, they dig it up with doubt. They say, "See, it doesn't work." But the universe doesn't operate on your clock. It responds to your belief. And belief is shown not by shouting in excitement one day and sulking in defeat the next, but by showing up every day with the same inner knowing. It is done. Faith requires discipline. It asks you to align your thoughts, words, emotions, and actions with the reality you've chosen, regardless of what your senses report. You walk by vision, not by sight. You speak the language of wealth while living in modest surroundings. You carry yourself with dignity while still climbing, and you smile not because everything is perfect, but because you know it soon will be. So when you feel doubt creeping in, don't fight it. Return to your vision. Strengthen your bridge. Remind yourself, my thoughts are rich. My emotions are aligned. My faith is unwavering. The results are already forming. You were never meant to chase wealth like a frightened animal. You were never designed to beg life for scraps or permission. You are gifted with something far greater than gold, a mind. A mind that can imagine, feel, speak, and believe. And when you flood that mind with rich thoughts, the universe begins to reorganize itself around your vision. Every dollar that arrives in your life is first born in silence. Every opportunity, every breakthrough, every divine alignment, it all begins with thought. And thought, when wrapped in emotion, declared with confidence, lived in daily visualization, and walked with faith, must become matter. You don't need to fix the world. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't even need to prove yourself. You simply need to become the person who already owns what they once begged for. You need to be rich, not in appearance, but in consciousness. And then the bank will catch up, the money will follow, the world will reflect what you've been carrying inside all along. Because you never had to wait for wealth. You only had to decide it was already yours. Now flood your mind and let the floodgates open. Ladies and gentlemen, think for a moment of the world around you, each piece of your reality, every turn of fate, every opportunity, whether grasped or missed. Now let me ask you, who crafted this world? Did it spring forth from chance alone, or was there a grand designer behind the scenes, one who silently paints the canvas of your life? Imagine then that this architect is not an external force but you, and the brush you wield is the boundless power of your own imagination. Imagination is not simply a retreat, a brief vacation from the cares of daily life. No, imagination is the very core of creation. It is the engine that molds possibilities into form, that turns mere dreams into reality. When you imagine, you transcend the limits of time, space, and circumstance. Through the act of imagination, you can shape tomorrow in the depths of today, crafting a reality so tangible that it becomes inevitable. Do you see now the potential within you? The same energy that forged galaxies lies waiting within your own mind, ready to sculpt and refine your life to fit the desires of your heart. As you listen to this, understand that your imagination is the canvas on which your destiny is painted. Close your eyes for a moment and see yourself where you truly wish to be. What colors would you use? What experiences would you choose to craft? Imagine them so vividly, so truly, that they begin to feel as real as this very moment. This is the beginning of the power that resides in you. This is the magic of transforming thoughts into things. Now let us dive deeper into the essence of imagination. You are not a passive observer of life's tides. You are the orchestrator, the composer, the sculptor of your reality. Each thought, each image you hold in your mind's eye weaves the fabric of your experiences. Imagine something new, something bold, and watch how life, as if a willing partner, begins to rearrange itself around your vision. This is no mere wishful thinking. This is the science of being, the art of creation, and you hold the key. Here are 10 profound truths about imagination that, when understood and embraced, can shift the course of your life. Imagination defines perception. The images you hold in your mind, the stories you tell yourself, become the lens through which you interpret your reality. The way you picture yourself has the power to transform everything you see and feel. When you envision yourself as strong and capable, the world around you reflects that strength. Situations that once felt daunting begin to feel within reach, as if reality itself bends to meet your self-perception. Every experience becomes tinted by this inner vision, influencing how you receive and react to life's events. Consider a person who sees themselves as resilient, as someone who can rise above challenges. To this person, obstacles no longer appear as barriers. They become stepping stones, opportunities to demonstrate that inner resilience. Through imagination, they can view a setback as a chance to grow rather than as a signal of defeat. The perception that they are adaptable, capable of navigating change, creates a powerful shift in how they experience reality. Each challenge becomes a reflection of that inner strength, and they start to see themselves as a force capable of shaping their own outcomes. Imagination also colors interactions with others. When you imagine yourself as someone who is deserving, who brings value to every relationship, you begin to notice respect and openness reflected back to you. This mental picture invites people to respond to you differently, shaping the very nature of your relationships. Through imagination, you're not just an observer in your social world, but an active participant who subtly molds how you're perceived. Each interaction becomes a mirror of the belief that you are worthy and that others recognize it. The power of imagination extends to how you view possibilities. When you hold an image of abundance within, you begin to notice resources, opportunities, and avenues for growth that were invisible before. Imagination draws your attention to possibilities that align with this inner vision of plenty. Rather than viewing life as limited or restricted, you see it as open and abundant, filled with options waiting to be explored. Scarcity fades as you imagine abundance, and in doing so, your perception of what is available and achievable shifts. Even your daily routines take on new depth and meaning when influenced by imagination. Picture someone who views every day as a chance to build their future. This vision colors the most ordinary tasks with purpose and focus. Every small action is no longer just a task, but a step towards something greater. Imagination allows this person to see the importance of even the smallest choices, knowing that each decision carries the weight of their ultimate vision. The routine becomes part of a grand design, revealing layers of meaning that were once hidden. Imagination acts like a subtle yet powerful force, shaping how you interpret every experience. Whether you imagine yourself as successful, confident, or deserving of love, this inner world sets the stage for how you perceive your outer world. Through the lens of imagination, perception expands, reframing your life in ways that connect deeply with your true desires. The way you imagine your reality becomes the reality you perceive, creating a world that echoes the vision you hold within. Imagination shapes reality. The images and visions you nurture within begin to reach beyond the mind and into the very fabric of reality. When you hold a vision, even in fleeting moments, it imprints on the world around you like a blueprint waiting to be built. The more vividly you imagine, the clearer and stronger this blueprint becomes. Every thought is like a brushstroke on this invisible canvas, gradually forming a picture that shapes your external world in ways both subtle and profound. With each mental image, reality itself begins to echo the form of your inner vision. Just as a seed, hidden beneath the earth, holds the promise of a tree, every thought you nurture holds the potential to shape events around you. When you imagine yourself thriving, achieving, or transforming, this energy doesn't remain locked within you. Instead, it begins to ripple outward, creating shifts in your actions, decisions, and even the opportunities that seem to find you. Just as a plant seeks sunlight and water to grow, your vision seeks ways to manifest, guiding you toward paths aligned with that image. Imagination sets unseen forces into motion, gathering elements to build the reality it envisions. The visions you sustain in your mind affect the choices you make, sometimes without conscious effort. The mind, directed by imagination, will naturally lean toward situations that resonate with the images it holds. Imagine consistently seeing yourself in a position of success. This vision, upheld with persistence, will subtly guide you to actions that bring you closer to it. Each choice, each opportunity you notice and act upon, becomes part of the mosaic of your imagined world. The reality begins to match the shape of the thoughts you've consistently held, aligning circumstances with your vision. Imagination acts as a magnet, drawing in people, places, and events that resonate with the energy of your inner world. The more you imagine and believe in a specific outcome, the more you find circumstances in your life shifting to support that outcome. This attraction isn't always dramatic or immediate sometimes. It unfolds through a series of small, seemingly unrelated events. Yet each of these moments carries you closer to the reality you have imagined. As if by a gentle pull, you are drawn toward experiences that match the frequency of your vision. There is a rhythm to the process of imagination shaping reality, of patience, a steady nurturing that resembles tending to a delicate garden. Each thought planted, each mental image nurtured, grows steadily, taking form in its own time. Some visions take root quickly, blossoming into experiences that seem almost miraculous, while others grow slowly, forming a foundation beneath the surface before finally emerging. In this patient unfolding, imagination aligns with the natural flow of creation, allowing each vision to manifest at the right moment in the right way. This process of imagination shaping reality is dynamic, evolving as you evolve. As you refine your vision, the external world continues to adjust in response, reflecting the changes within you. The reality you see around you, then, is not static but a living, breathing reflection of your inner world. Imagination becomes the architect, working patiently and persistently to build a reality that aligns with the ever-evolving landscape of your desires and beliefs. Each thought, each vision, plants the seeds for the reality that unfolds, creating a world shaped by the power of imagination. Imagination fuels desire. Desire is like a spark that emerges from the depths of the mind, a faint glimmer of something that could be, waiting to be brought into focus. When you first feel a desire, it's subtle, perhaps even fragile, a mere suggestion of what life could hold. This is where imagination steps in, acting like the fuel that turns that spark into a flame. Through imagination, you give that desire shape, clarity, and energy, breathing life into it. The more you envision it, the more vivid and real it becomes, no longer just an idea, but something that stirs a longing within you. Each time you imagine your desire in detail, you add layers of richness to it, strengthening its presence in your mind. It's as if the desire is becoming something more tangible with each thought, growing roots that anchor it firmly within you. This sustained attention transforms a fleeting wish into a solid intention. By visualizing it repeatedly, you give it form, texture, and weight, making it harder to ignore. Imagination doesn't just help you see what you want, it makes you feel it deeply, creating a connection that goes beyond mere thought. As this connection deepens, your desire starts to take on a life of its own, moving from a quiet longing to an unstoppable that drives you. Imagination nurtures this evolution, cultivating it so that your desire grows stronger, more insistent. You find yourself drawn to think about it often, and each time you do, it feels more real, more possible. This vividness of imagination has a way of making you feel like the object of your desire is already within reach, stirring an inner momentum that makes it feel inevitable. Through imagination, desire becomes a guide, steering your actions and choices without force, only inspiration. When you vividly imagine achieving your desire, it starts to feel not only possible but within your grasp, filling you with the energy to pursue it. Your actions naturally align with this vision, as if the desire itself is urging you forward. This alignment between thought and action becomes almost effortless, powered by the strength of the image held within your mind. It's as though imagination has shaped desire into a compass that leads you steadily in the direction of fulfillment. As you continue to nurture your desire with imagination, it begins to develop a magnetic quality, drawing circumstances, ideas, and even people toward you that support its realization. Each time you picture your desire fulfilled, you strengthen this magnetic pull, amplifying its reach. The more vividly and frequently you imagine it, the more life aligns with your vision, attracting what you need to bring it into being. Imagination thus enhances desire's influence, making it not only a personal longing, but a force that resonates outward, touching and reshaping the world around you. This process turns desire from a passive feeling into an active pursuit, The fuel of imagination transforms longing into a source of power, a continuous source of motivation. What began as a quiet thought becomes a driving force that shapes your choices, habits, and ultimately your life's path. Imagination provides the energy that keeps this desire alive, allowing it to mature from a passing thought into a goal that defines and directs you. Through imagination, desire grows from a mere whisper into a powerful call that you feel compelled to answer. Imagination expands possibility. Imagination begins where known boundaries end, reaching into realms that logic often hesitates to explore. When you allow yourself to imagine freely, you step outside the constraints of reality as it is and venture into what could be. Logic can keep us grounded in the familiar, but imagination encourages us to explore beyond, to consider possibilities that seem out of reach. In this space beyond logic, where restrictions fade, a world of potential emerges, a place where ideas are born without the burden of needing to be immediately achievable. Through imagination, the concept of possibility itself expands. What once seemed distant or unattainable now appears closer, inviting you to consider the ideas that hadn't surfaced before. When you imagine, you're no longer bound by the rules of the present moment or by what's been done before. Instead, you engage with a broader sense of reality, a place where innovation thrives and where every idea can be entertained. This openness to what lies beyond the known allows you to see life not as a fixed set of circumstances, but as a fluid, evolving space with limitless potential. Imagination also invites us to dream without fear of failure or judgment. In the realm of imagination, you're free to experiment, to envision scenarios that might seem far-fetched in the real world. This freedom to explore fuels a kind of creativity that isn't bound by past experiences or limitations. You can imagine success in areas where you may have failed before. Envision solutions that haven't been tried, or picture yourself in roles and environments that defy the patterns of your current reality. Here, possibility is endless, providing a safe haven where you can try on different versions of yourself and your future. As imagination stretches the limits of what seems possible, it also begins to reshape your beliefs. The more you engage with these imaginative visions, the more they influence how you perceive the world. Your beliefs about what you're capable of, about what the world has to offer, gradually start to shift, influenced by the vast potential your imagination has revealed. Possibilities you once dismissed now seem attainable, and doors that seemed permanently closed begin to crack open, allowing you to see a path where none seemed to exist before. In this space of boundless potential, imagination fuels courage, encouraging you to pursue paths you may have overlooked. When you envision success, achievement, or even a sense of fulfillment through imagination, you tap into a confidence that might not have been available before. This confidence isn't born from a guarantee of success, but from the mere fact that you've dared to imagine something different. Imagination doesn't provide certainty, but instead opens the door to a vast array of possibilities, expanding what you're willing to pursue and try in life. By challenging the boundaries of the known, imagination reveals layers of reality that logic alone cannot uncover. Each time you imagine, you push the limits of what you believe is possible, adding depth and richness to your understanding of life's potential. Through this expanded vision, you're not merely dreaming, you're stretching the very boundaries of what could be, lifting the veil on possibilities that logic may have overlooked. Imagination, then, is a force that invites the unknown into view, showing us that what once seemed impossible may simply be a vision waiting to be realized. Imagination reinforces faith. When you vividly imagine your dreams, you're not just picturing a hopeful future, you're building a foundation of belief that the unseen is within reach. Through imagination, dreams begin to take on a sense of realness that brings them closer to your grasp. Each time you revisit these images in your mind, they become more detailed, more tangible, and in a sense, more achievable. Imagination turns abstract wishes into images that feel as if they belong in your life, giving faith something to hold on to, a vivid reminder that what you desire has a place waiting for it in your reality. This vividness strengthens faith, because it allows you to see, feel, and connect with your dreams in the present moment. Instead of an ambiguous hope, your dreams become experiences within your imagination, taking on weight and meaning that would be impossible to attain otherwise. When you imagine with such clarity, you give your mind and heart an anchor, something to look toward even when life's challenges or obstacles seem insurmountable. Imagination makes your faith feel less like a wish and more like a conviction that your dreams are as real as any experience you've ever had. With each vivid imagining, your faith gains strength to withstand setbacks and uncertainty. The future you envision doesn't depend on everything going smoothly in the present. Instead, it becomes something you can lean on, something that motivates you regardless of the circumstances around you. Imagination feeds this faith by keeping the image of success or fulfillment alive in your mind. When the outer world doesn't yet reflect your inner desires, it's this faith, continuously fueled by imagination, that keeps you moving toward your goals with purpose and resilience. Imagination also provides a sense of assurance, a quiet but profound belief that there is more to life than what meets the eye. When you imagine with faith, you tap into the idea that the universe holds infinite possibilities and that the things you envision have a genuine chance of taking form. This assurance doesn't come from evidence or proof. It comes from the deep-seated feeling that what you envision is already within reach, only waiting for the right moment to unfold. This confidence in the unseen is what keeps faith strong, nurturing your dreams through imagination's power. The images you create in your mind reinforce faith by giving it life and momentum. Instead of fading over time, these dreams grow richer, more complex, and more intertwined with your sense of self. Each visualization becomes like a drop of fuel added to the fire of your faith, intensifying it rather than letting it diminish. The more detailed and vivid your imaginings, the stronger your connection to your dreams becomes, and the more naturally faith flows from you. Imagination then keeps faith from stagnating, keeping it vibrant and alive, ready to drive you forward. Through this interplay, imagination transforms faith from a passive feeling into an active force. It bridges the gap between the present and the unseen future, letting faith do more than simply wish. It propels you forward, grounding you in the belief that what you envision is part of a larger field of possibility. With imagination as its ally, faith no longer feels like a leap but like a path you are actively building, one vivid image at a time, carrying you toward a future that feels as real as your present. Imagination cultivates resilience. When faced with hardship, the mind naturally seeks an escape, a place to retreat and find solace from the struggles of reality. Imagination provides this sanctuary, offering a mental space where burdens feel lighter and hope is renewed. Through imagination, you can envision outcomes beyond the immediate challenges, picturing yourself past the difficulties, stronger and wiser. This act of imagining a brighter future allows you to momentarily transcend the weight of the present, finding strength in the possibility of overcoming. In this way, imagination becomes a refuge, a source of comfort that reminds you that adversity is not the end. In times of struggle, imagination also helps you tap into inner reserves of strength you may not have realized you possess. Visualizing yourself overcoming obstacles instills a quiet confidence that fuels your ability to endure. When you imagine yourself handling challenges with grace, you mentally prepare yourself to face them in reality. This preparation doesn't erase the difficulty, but it builds resilience, helping you meet struggles with a more grounded sense of purpose. Imagination creates mental rehearsals that shape your responses, guiding you to stay focused and calm under pressure. Imagination can transform difficult moments by letting you see them from a broader perspective. Instead of viewing obstacles as fixed and immovable, you can imagine them as temporary, as stepping stones leading you somewhere better. This shift in perception changes your relationship with hardship, making it feel less like an insurmountable barrier and more like part of a journey. By imagining a future where these difficulties have been overcome, you cultivate a sense of resilience that encourages you to keep going, reminding you that what seems overwhelming now will eventually pass. Imagination also opens up creative pathways for handling hardship, inspiring you to approach struggles with fresh ideas and perspectives. When faced with a challenge, Envisioning different ways to tackle it allows you to find solutions you may not have considered. This creative engagement with struggle nurtures resilience by shifting your focus from the problem itself to the possibilities that lie within it. Through imagination, you learn to look at difficulties with curiosity rather than fear, strengthening your resolve and encouraging innovative thinking even when things seem bleak. Imagination provides not only an escape but also a vision of yourself as someone who rises above hardship. In imagining yourself resilient and unshaken, you reinforce an inner belief in your own strength. This belief becomes a self-fulfilling quality, giving you the determination to press on. When you picture yourself as capable of handling anything life throws your way, that image becomes a wellspring of resilience. Even in moments when you feel tested, this mental vision reminds you of the strength within, urging you to keep pushing forward despite the odds. Imagination creates a sense of purpose within hardship by connecting it to a larger narrative. When you envision your life story, you see that every challenge is a chapter, a necessary piece of the journey that contributes to who you are becoming. This broader perspective instills resilience by allowing you to view your struggles as meaningful, as experiences that shape and refine you. Through imagination, you build a sense of hope and endurance that carries you through even the toughest times, knowing that each difficulty is a stepping stone toward something greater. Imagination enhances creativity. Imagination lies at the heart of every creative endeavor, providing the spark that brings new ideas to life. It is in the realm of imagination that the mind explores possibilities without the constraints of reality, venturing into spaces where conventional boundaries don't apply. In this free-flowing mental landscape, thoughts can merge in unexpected ways, leading to discoveries and insights that might never arise in a purely logical framework. By letting go of rules and limitations, imagination becomes a source of inspiration, a playground where creativity can roam freely. When you actively engage your imagination, you give yourself permission to think beyond the ordinary. The process allows you to envision things that don't yet exist, creating a vision of what could be rather than what already is. This freedom to explore the unknown is what fuels creativity. Artists, scientists, inventors all have relied on their imagination to take leaps into the unseen, to envision something new and bring it into the world. Imagination thus acts as a guide, leading the mind to realms where new ideas and forms take shape, revealing paths that no one has yet explored. In moments of creative block, imagination becomes a lifeline, offering an escape from the pressures of needing to produce something immediately. By stepping into the world of imagination, you can let go of expectation and simply allow ideas to flow naturally. This often brings a fresh perspective that breaks through mental blocks, unlocking solutions and insights that were previously out of reach. When you're not bound by the need for immediate results, imagination creates a space where your mind can relax, explore, and ultimately find inspiration without pressure, reigniting creativity in ways that feel organic. Imagination also helps connect seemingly unrelated ideas, allowing for creative combinations that might otherwise go unnoticed. When you let your mind wander, exploring different thoughts and images, you create a fertile ground for innovative connections. Ideas from different areas, whether art, science, or everyday experiences, can intertwine in unique ways, leading to new creations and solutions. Imagination thus acts as a bridge, merging diverse concepts into something original and unexpected, a process that's often at the heart of groundbreaking creativity. In addition to connecting ideas, imagination also fosters creativity by encouraging curiosity. When you imagine, you naturally begin to wonder, to ask what if. This curiosity drives exploration, pushing you to consider new approaches and perspectives. Imagination doesn't just provide answers, it generates questions that lead you to seek out new information, to look at familiar things from a fresh angle. This spirit of curiosity, of wanting to see beyond the obvious, is essential to creativity, feeding the desire to innovate and to bring fresh ideas to life. By using imagination, you engage with possibilities that might otherwise remain hidden, tapping into a well of ideas that lie beyond immediate awareness. This mental exploration opens up a sense of discovery, where each new thought and image feels like uncovering a piece of an unseen puzzle. Imagination enhances creativity by creating a sense of wonder, a belief that there's always more to explore, more to create, and more to bring into existence. In this way, imagination serves as a continuous source of inspiration, one that expands and deepens the potential for creative expression in every area of life. Imagination promotes personal growth. When you visualize your highest self, you create a version of yourself that embodies qualities you admire and aspire to cultivate. This imagined self is often braver, kinder, wiser, and more resilient than you may feel in the present moment. Yet each time you envision it, you draw closer to becoming that person. Through imagination, you paint a picture of who you want to be. And this vision begins to influence your actions, encouraging you to align your behavior with the traits of your ideal self. This mental image becomes a powerful guide, nudging you forward with each small step you take. As you repeatedly imagine this ideal version of yourself, it becomes an inner benchmark, a standard by which you assess your choices and actions. This doesn't create pressure, but rather fosters growth by giving you a gentle reminder of what you're capable of. When faced with challenges, this imagined self serves as a source of strength, encouraging you to respond in ways that are aligned with your vision. You start to notice that each challenge is an opportunity to practice the qualities you've been envisioning, whether that's patience, courage, or integrity. Imagination turns these ideals into goals for personal growth, not through force but through inspiration. Imagination also allows you to rehearse behaviors and attitudes that contribute to growth. When you picture yourself handling difficult situations with calmness or grace, you mentally prepare yourself to respond that way in real life. By repeatedly imagining yourself embodying these qualities, you build a kind of inner familiarity with them, making it easier to bring them into your daily actions. This mental rehearsal strengthens your confidence and sense of possibility, making the gap between your current self and your highest self feel smaller and more achievable. In this way, imagination becomes a tool for growth, one that lets you practice becoming who you want to be. Imagining your highest self also has a way of reshaping how you view your current limitations. When you see yourself as capable of change and growth, obstacles that once seemed daunting appear more manageable. You begin to believe in your potential to grow beyond your current state, understanding that setbacks are temporary and that growth is continuous. Through imagination, you gain a broader perspective on your journey, seeing each experience as part of the process of becoming your ideal self. Imagination thus transforms limitations into steps, each one bringing you closer to the person you aspire to be. The vision of your highest self often inspires changes in your habits and choices. Imagining yourself as someone who values health, for instance, can lead you to make better decisions for your well-being. The more vividly you imagine this ideal, the more naturally you gravitate toward behaviors that align with it. This doesn't feel forced, but rather like a natural evolution, as if the qualities of your highest self are emerging from within. Imagination plants the seeds of new habits and attitudes, making growth feel not only possible but also inevitable, a part of who you are becoming. By consistently engaging with this vision, imagination nurtures a sense of purpose in your personal growth. You are no longer striving blindly, but moving with intention toward a version of yourself that feels both inspiring and attainable. This mental image becomes a source of motivation and direction, guiding you through each phase of growth. In imagining your highest self, you're reminded that growth is not just an external achievement, but an internal journey of becoming. Through this vision, you stay connected to the person you're working to become, seeing each moment as part of a larger path shaped by imagination's power. Imagination empowers decision-making. When faced with choices, the ability to imagine potential outcomes can be a powerful guide. Imagination lets you project yourself into different scenarios, envisioning how each path might unfold before committing to a particular course of action. By doing this, you gain a clearer sense of what aligns with your values and desires. This foresight isn't bound by logic alone, it allows you to consider emotional and intuitive factors as well. Through imagination, you can see beyond immediate benefits, weighing long-term consequences in a way that helps you feel more grounded and prepared in your choices. As you mentally explore various outcomes, imagination enhances your confidence in making decisions. By picturing yourself handling each potential scenario, you gain familiarity with the challenges and rewards that might come your way. This mental rehearsal makes the unknown feel less intimidating, equipping you with a sense of readiness even before you take action. You begin to feel more secure in your decisions, as though you've already walked the path, knowing what strengths and resources you may need. Imagination thus provides a layer of confidence that comes from experiencing a decision's impact in your mind first. Imagination also allows you to visualize yourself succeeding, reinforcing your commitment to the choices you make. When you imagine positive outcomes, you create a sense of purpose that strengthens your determination. By envisioning the steps you'll take and the satisfaction of achieving your goals, you develop a stronger connection to the decisions that align with your desired future. This clarity makes it easier to prioritize, filtering out choices that don't serve your ultimate vision. Imagination acts as a guiding force, helping you recognize which paths are most in line with the life you wish to build. The ability to mentally test different options also broadens your perspective, helping you see possibilities that might not be immediately obvious. When you take time to imagine different approaches to a problem, new solutions often emerge. This process of exploring diverse outcomes can reveal creative paths you hadn't initially considered. Imagination pushes beyond traditional problem solving, inviting ideas from realms you might not typically explore. By seeing the potential in different routes, you open yourself up to decisions that feel more original and fulfilling. Imagining potential outcomes helps you align your choices with your values, fostering a sense of purpose behind each decision. You're not just making a choice, you're crafting a life that reflects your ideals and aspirations. Through imagination, you can weigh decisions not only by practical benefits but by how they resonate with who you truly want to be. This alignment between choice and value gives your decisions meaning, transforming them from mere actions into intentional steps on your life path. Imagination allows you to experience each decision's emotional impact, which can guide you toward choices that bring you lasting fulfillment. When you imagine how each option makes you feel, you gain insight into whether a decision aligns with your true desires or merely offers temporary satisfaction. This emotional preview helps you recognize choices that genuinely resonate with you, bringing greater peace and satisfaction. Imagination thus empowers decision making by connecting you with your inner desires, allowing you to navigate life's choices with clarity and a deep sense of direction. Imagination leads to self-mastery. Mastering your imagination means cultivating the ability to direct your inner visions with intention and purpose. Rather than letting random thoughts and images dictate your mental landscape, you start choosing what occupies your mind. This shift transforms imagination from a passive experience into an active practice, a tool you wield to shape your mindset and reactions. When you consciously direct your imagination, you're training yourself to focus on visions that uplift and inspire, gradually building the mental discipline that leads to mastery over your thoughts and, consequently, over your life. Through imagination, you develop an inner resilience that strengthens your ability to face challenges. By picturing yourself responding with calm, strength, and clarity in difficult situations, you mentally prepare yourself for these moments before they even arrive. This mental preparation gives you a foundation of confidence and readiness, making it easier to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Over time, these practices of visualization create patterns of strength and stability within you, qualities that become natural responses in the real world. Imagination, thus directed, builds a base of inner mastery, a sense of control that empowers you in all areas of life. As you guide your imagination toward positive and constructive images, you also gain the ability to shift your emotional state intentionally. For instance, when faced with feelings of stress or doubt, you can use your imagination to visualize a calming scene, an image of accomplishment, or a memory of strength. This act of consciously redirecting your thoughts allows you to control your emotions rather than be controlled by them. Each time you practice this, you strengthen your emotional resilience, learning to navigate feelings with a steady hand. Imagination becomes a tool for emotional mastery, helping you cultivate a mindset that supports growth and well-being. Imagination as a discipline also teaches you patience and persistence. By continually holding on to a vision or a goal in your mind the value of sustained focus and determination. Even when results aren't immediate, your ability to imagine the end goal keeps you committed and inspired. The mental picture you maintain of your desired outcome becomes a constant reminder of your purpose, strengthening your resolve and reinforcing your ability to stay the course. This patience in holding a vision is an essential part of self-mastery, teaching you to trust in the process and in your own power to bring things to fruition. In guiding your imagination intentionally, you begin to redefine what's possible for yourself. Each time you imagine success or mastery in an area, you stretch your own limits, pushing beyond self-imposed boundaries. Through these mental exercises, you reshape your beliefs about what you're capable of, replacing doubt with a quiet conviction in your abilities. This practice of envisioning yourself as capable and strong feeds into every aspect of life, allowing you to build a reality that reflects the best of what you believe you can achieve. Imagination, consistently applied, becomes a path to realizing the potential that lies within. By cultivating this mastery over your imagination, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself. Imagination allows you to explore your desires, goals, and fears, bringing clarity to what truly matters to you. This process of self-exploration leads to self-awareness, the foundation of self-mastery. As you guide your imagination, you're not just shaping your reality, you're learning about your strengths, values, and aspirations. This insight provides a roadmap for personal growth, helping you align your life with your highest intentions and leading to a mastery of self that is both profound and empowering. In the end, imagination is more than a fleeting daydream or a momentary escape. It is the very essence of our potential, the power that enables us to shape our lives from within. By understanding and harnessing this remarkable force, we unlock doors to resilience, growth, creativity, and self-mastery. Each time we envision a better version of ourselves or a brighter future, we set something powerful in motion, a path that brings us closer to the life we desire. Imagine yourself not as a passive observer, but as an active creator of your world, crafting it with intention and purpose. Know that every thought you nurture, every vision you hold dear, plays a role in shaping the reality around you. When we master our imagination, we begin to master our lives, aligning our inner world with the goals and dreams we hold most sacred. So, let us cultivate our imagination with purpose, directing it toward what truly matters, and watch as it transforms our lives from the inside out. Through imagination, we hold the power to bring our deepest desires into reality, becoming the truest, most fulfilled versions of ourselves. Imagine for a moment that life is like a grand stage where every scene, every person, and every circumstance is a reflection not of chance or fate, but of the beliefs you hold deep within. This idea is known as the mirror principle. It suggests that everything we encounter, every victory and every setback, is a mirror reflecting our innermost assumptions, our quiet fears, and our boldest dreams. It invites us to look beyond the surface and examine the depths of our inner world, for it is here that the seeds of our outer reality are sown. In our daily lives, it's easy to blame outside factors for our struggles and disappointments. We think, if only I had a different job, if only that person would change, if only I had more opportunities. Yet rarely do we pause to ask, what beliefs am I projecting onto the world that may be shaping my experience? The mirror principle challenges us to shift our gaze inward, to understand that our perceptions are the true architects of our reality. The world becomes a mere reflection, mirroring back the image we hold of ourselves and of life itself. This principle is both profound and unsettling. It puts the responsibility squarely on our shoulders, yet it also gives us the power to transform any aspect of our lives by changing the beliefs we carry within. If you see conflict, disappointment, or limitation in your world, the mirror principle suggests it's because you hold similar beliefs within yourself. But if you can shift these inner assumptions, your outer world must follow suit. This understanding, this lens through which we view the world, can become a transformative tool for creating a life of true fulfillment and purpose. The mirror principle isn't just a theory, it's a way of life that requires dedication and introspection. It requires us to question our most deeply held assumptions about who we are and what life has to offer. Yet for those who embrace it, it becomes the key to unlocking the creative power within. It is an invitation to take ownership, to stand as the conscious creator of your own life. Are you ready to look into the mirror, to truly see yourself, and to mold your world from the inside out? Today we'll explore 10 principles that reveal how the mirror principle can shape your reality. Each of these principles will empower you to become the master of your own experience, helping you use your thoughts, beliefs, and inner states as tools to craft a life that reflects your highest potential. So, let's dive in and see what truths the mirror has to reveal. Every experience you encounter, every moment you live through, is an echo of your inner world. It's as if your inner beliefs, thoughts, and assumptions about yourself and the world are continually projected onto the canvas of your life. You see, life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. The external world you interact with daily is a perfect, unerring mirror reflecting back the thoughts and assumptions you hold within. If you are to truly understand the mirror principle, you must first come to terms with this fundamental truth. Your experiences are not random events, but rather the direct result of your inner state. Taking responsibility for your life means acknowledging this relationship between your inner and outer worlds. It means understanding that, even if you cannot see it consciously, each experience, encounter, and each challenge that crosses your path is connected to a belief or assumption you hold inside. This concept may be challenging, even unsettling, because it asks you to let go of blaming the outside world, to release the idea that life is something that happens to you. Instead, it urges you to recognize that life is happening through you, as a mirror of the energy, thoughts, and beliefs you carry within. To understand this principle is to accept that you are the creator, and as such, you possess the power to reshape the circumstances you face. Every time you react, judge, or interpret a situation, you project an assumption onto it. These assumptions, often formed in moments of unconscious thought, color your perception of reality. If you view the world through a lens of scarcity, then scarcity will be reflected back at you. But if you choose to see life through the lens of abundance, then abundance begins to reveal itself. The choice, the responsibility always lies within you. By consciously choosing empowering beliefs, you reclaim your creative power. You become the architect of your experience, deliberately shaping your reality by aligning your inner beliefs with what you wish to see manifested around you. If you wish for love, peace, and prosperity in your life, you must embody these qualities within first. As Neville once said, man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. The world responds not to what you want, but to who you are. So let this understanding guide you. If you wish to see a change in your world, let it begin within. Begin to replace every limiting thought with thoughts of possibility and growth. Let go of beliefs that no longer serve you and replace them with the beliefs of a life fully lived, of dreams realized. When you consciously choose beliefs that empower rather than diminish you, the mirror of life has no choice but to reflect this empowered state back at you. Life will not respond to idle wishes or passive desires, but it will always respond to the energy and conviction of a mind that knows its own power. The transformation you seek begins with you, with each choice you make to hold empowering beliefs. This is the power of the mirror principle. As you assume responsibility for your inner world, the outer world will reflect the very reality you've chosen. Your beliefs, whether conscious or hidden in the depths of your mind, shape the lens through which you perceive the world. Every assumption you hold, every belief you nurture, acts as a mirror, reflecting its nature back to you through the circumstances and experiences that unfold. If you believe the world is a place of scarcity and struggle, you will inevitably find yourself surrounded by scarcity and struggle. This is the mirror principle in action. Whatever you hold within you is projected outward, shaping the world that appears before your eyes. To understand this, you must first recognize the power beliefs have over your reality. Beliefs are not merely thoughts you repeat. They are deeply ingrained convictions that color every interaction and perception. They influence how you interpret events, how you react to people, and even the opportunities that come your way. When you carry beliefs of limitation, ideas like "I'm not good enough" or "there's never enough," the world responds accordingly. These beliefs act as barriers, and you begin to notice only the limitations, the obstacles, and the struggles that align with them. Yet, the mirror can only reflect what it is given. If you approach life with a belief in abundance, with the assumption that there is always enough, that you are capable, that opportunities are plentiful, the world will reflect these beliefs back to you. The limitations you once saw will begin to fade, and in their place you will notice pathways and possibilities you never imagined. This isn't a change in the world itself, but rather a shift in your inner world, which the mirror of life faithfully reflects. Transforming your beliefs is not a passive process. It requires awareness and a conscious choice to release what no longer serves you. Notice the beliefs that arise in moments of challenge or doubts. Are they beliefs that limit you, or do they empower you? Becoming aware of these underlying assumptions allows you to choose new beliefs that align with the life you desire. As you let go of limiting ideas, as you replace them with beliefs of empowerment and possibility, you are essentially changing the image that the mirror will reflect. This shift in perspective is often gradual, but it is transformative. Each time you reinforce an empowering belief, the mirror of life reflects it back to you with greater clarity and intensity. Your experiences begin to align with your new assumptions, and the world around you begins to feel different, more welcoming, more open. This change is not because the world itself has shifted, but because you have altered the beliefs that once filtered your perception. As you continue this process, life begins to reveal the boundless nature of reality itself. Limitations once held as truths start to dissolve, and you realize they were never inherent in the world, but in the beliefs you once held. By recognizing your beliefs as mirrors, you open the door to a reality that reflects not only your highest aspirations, but also the limitless potential within you. What you focus on becomes the framework through which you experience life. Each thought, each feeling, each quiet expectation you hold acts as a signal, inviting certain qualities and experiences into your world. When your focus is centered on abundance, kindness, and love, these elements subtly start to shape the reality around you. They may initially appear in small ways: a gesture of kindness from a stranger, an unexpected opportunity, a sense of calm, but over time they create a world that mirrors the energy you consistently project. The lens of your focus is incredibly powerful, though its effects often go unnoticed. It operates silently, yet it directs what you notice, how you interpret experiences, and how you respond to life's unfolding events. If your focus gravitates towards scarcity or lack, you become more attuned to instances that reinforce this perspective. You see the barriers, the limitations, the reasons to hold back. But when you shift your focus to qualities like abundance or gratitude, a different world begins to reveal itself, a world filled with resources, with opportunities, and with moments of connection and grace. This shift doesn't demand that the outer world changes instantly. Instead, it requires a change within, a conscious decision to redirect your attention. For example, when you choose to focus on kindness, you begin to see it around you, in the actions of others, in small moments that might have previously gone unnoticed. Likewise, focusing on abundance invites you to recognize the fullness in your life, even in places you hadn't thought to look. It's as though life itself reshapes to reflect this inner orientation, aligning circumstances and encounters with your chosen focus. Your focus not only affects what you see, but also influences how you feel and how others respond to you. By centering on positivity and love, you naturally project these qualities outward, affecting your interactions with others. People are drawn to those who emanate a sense of warmth and openness, and as they respond in kind, the reflection of kindness and love becomes even more pronounced. This creates a feedback loop where your focus not only changes what you perceive, but also actively brings these qualities into the lives of those around you. This conscious focus has a cumulative effect, subtly transforming the landscape of your life. You begin to notice that the qualities you've been cultivating within yourself are manifesting in external ways, from improved relationships to increased opportunities and even unexpected support. It's as though the world adjusts to meet the standards you set within, reflecting the energy you've chosen to cultivate and maintain. The mirror of life becomes clearer, showing back to you the abundant, kind, and loving world you have come to embody. As you continue to focus on these higher qualities, you create a strong foundation within. This foundation allows you to navigate challenges with resilience and a sense of peace, as your inner world remains steady, grounded in positivity. Your experiences begin to align with this inner strength, reinforcing the shift in focus and creating a life that mirrors the love, kindness, and abundance you have chosen to see and cultivate. Challenges, though often uncomfortable, like mirrors reflecting aspects of ourselves that are waiting to be understood and transformed. Each obstacle you encounter offers an opportunity to look deeper, to uncover the beliefs and assumptions that shape your reality. Rather than seeing challenges as threats or setbacks, consider them as signals, subtle indicators pointing toward unresolved thoughts or limitations that you may carry within. When you begin to view challenges this way, they lose their intimidating edge and instead become tools for self-discovery and growth. The moments of struggle in life often reveal the beliefs we hold unconsciously. For instance, if a challenge triggers fear or self-doubt, it may be pointing to an underlying belief in lack or inadequacy. The challenge is not there to discourage you, but to shine a light on this belief, giving you the chance to confront it directly. By addressing these underlying assumptions, you transform not only the current obstacle, but also the very framework through which future experiences will unfold. Each challenge then becomes an invitation to look within and refine the beliefs that shape your life. When you view challenges as reflections, they start to feel less like personal attacks and more like a dialogue with yourself. They prompt you to ask, what part of me needs attention? What limiting belief am I holding on to? This approach helps you detach from the intensity of the situation, allowing you to see it as a tool for introspection rather than a barrier. As you recognize the insights these reflections offer, the initial frustration or fear that challenges bring can be replaced by curiosity and even gratitude. This shift in perspective requires patience and a willingness to be vulnerable. Confronting inner beliefs and assumptions isn't always easy, as they are often rooted in past experiences and familiar patterns of thought. Yet, as you face these challenges with openness, you begin to see them as stepping stones, each one helping you grow and reshape your inner world. Over time, the process of viewing challenges as reflections becomes second nature, and you become adept at identifying and addressing limiting beliefs with clarity and resilience. Challenges also reveal strengths you might not have recognized within yourself. When you face an obstacle, you are pushed to dig deeper, to find resources within that might otherwise remain dormant. In this way, challenges not only expose limiting beliefs, but also awaken qualities like courage, perseverance, and creativity. They show you the depth of your own potential, reflecting back the strength you possess when you choose to see past the surface of the challenge and address the inner transformation it invites. As you continue to navigate life with this perspective, challenges begin to lose their hold over you. They no longer feel like forces working against you, but rather mirrors guiding you toward greater self-understanding and mastery. The more you engage with them in this way, the more your outer world aligns with the clarity and empowerment you've cultivated within. Each challenge then becomes a chapter in the story of your personal growth, reflecting a journey not of struggle but of unfolding and becoming. Self-love forms the foundation upon which all your relationships are built. When you truly value yourself, honoring your own worth and accepting who you are, you create an energy that naturally attracts others who reflect this sense of respect and appreciation. By focusing on nurturing love and respect within, you align with a frequency that invites similar qualities from those around you. The mirror principle reveals that the love you experience externally begins as a reflection of the love you cultivate within. Embracing self-love involves acknowledging your own needs, desires, and boundaries. It's about understanding what brings you joy, recognizing your strengths, and offering yourself compassion for any perceived flaws. When you treat yourself with the same care and kindness you would offer a dear friend, you reinforce a sense of inner value. This inner assurance resonates outward, drawing relationships into your life that honor and respect these qualities in you. The respect you give yourself becomes a template, mirrored back to you by others who recognize and appreciate your worth. Self-love also brings clarity to the type of relationships you welcome into your life. When you value yourself, you naturally gravitate toward connections that support and uplift you, moving away from those that drain or diminish your spirit. This inner alignment acts as a filter, allowing only those who genuinely resonate with your worth to enter your life. Through this process, the relationships you attract are not only more fulfilling, but also more in harmony with the love and respect you cultivate within. The act of loving yourself teaches others how to treat you. When you radiate self-respect, you set an example for others to mirror. People sense this self-assurance and respond accordingly, as though they are instinctively guided by the level of respect you hold for yourself. This doesn't require words or explanations, it's an unspoken reflection, a magnetic pull that invites others to treat you with the same reverence you give yourself. The love you show inwardly becomes the standard by which you are treated outwardly. Cultivating self-love also empowers you to give and receive love more freely. When you're rooted in self-worth, there's no need to seek validation or approval from external sources. Instead, you can approach relationships from a place of fullness, offering genuine kindness and understanding without the fear of rejection or loss. This authenticity creates deeper, more meaningful connections as you are no longer dependent on others to feel complete. The mirror reflects this self-sufficiency back to you, bringing relationships that honor and celebrate your wholeness. Over time, this journey of self-love transforms the landscape of your relationships. You find yourself surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you, who value your presence as much as you value theirs. These connections are not born of need or dependency, but of mutual respect and appreciation. The world around you reflects this inner love, revealing a reality where your relationships mirror the genuine, unconditional love and respect you hold for yourself. In this way, self-love becomes the source of fulfillment, inviting a circle of positive, enriching relationships that reflect your highest self. Visualization is a powerful tool that taps into the mind's ability to shape reality. When you visualize, you create a vivid mental picture of the life you desire, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with that vision. This practice is not simply daydreaming, it is an intentional act of focusing your energy on what you want to see manifest in your world. In the mirror principle, visualization acts as a direct channel between your inner desires and the outer experiences that reflect them, bridging the gap between thought and reality. The process of visualization engages the mind on multiple levels. As you vividly imagine your goals, your mind begins to accept this image as a possible reality, dissolving barriers of doubt or limitation. With each repetition, you reinforce the belief that this vision is achievable, strengthening your inner conviction. The mind, much like the body, responds to repetition and practice, and through visualization, you are essentially training your mind to recognize your desires as part of your life. This shift in inner belief is what the mirror reflects back in the form of real-world experiences and opportunities. Emotion plays a crucial role in visualization, infusing the image with a sense of reality and urgency. When you visualize with genuine emotion, feeling the excitement, joy, or peace associated with your desired outcome, you make the experience more real to your subconscious mind. This emotional charge acts as a signal, broadcasting your desires with intensity and drawing circumstances that resonate with that energy. Visualization is not just seeing with your mind's eye, it's feeling with your whole being, allowing the emotion of fulfillment to create a magnetic pull toward your goals. Consistency is key to effective visualization. By regularly revisiting your mental image, you deepen its presence in your mind, making it feel natural and familiar. This sense of familiarity reduces any resistance that might arise from self doubt or limiting beliefs. Over time, your mind comes to accept this vision as a normal part of your life, creating a smooth pathway for it to manifest. Each time you visualize, you reinforce the signal you're sending into the mirror of life, strengthening your alignment with the reality you seek. Visualization also enhances your ability to notice opportunities and resources that align with your vision. As your mind becomes attuned to this desired reality, it begins to pick up on possibilities in your environment that might otherwise go unnoticed. Your mind's focus shifts, filtering out distractions and guiding you toward choices and actions that support your goals. This heightened awareness is one of the ways the mirror of life responds, presenting you with stepping stones that lead you closer to your vision. Visualization becomes more than a mental exercise, it is an act of creation. By consistently projecting your desired reality into your mind's eye, you shape the beliefs and emotions that form your experiences. The mirror of life reflects this inner vision, aligning the outer world to match the image you hold within. Through visualization, you harness the creative power of your mind, transforming intangible desires into tangible realities. Negative self-talk can quietly shape your reality in profound ways, often without you even realizing it. Each time you criticize yourself, doubt your abilities, or speak harshly to yourself, you reinforce an image of limitation and unworthiness. This self-criticism acts as a filter, coloring the way you see the world and the way the world responds to you. The mirror principle reminds us that these internal dialogues have an outward impact, reflecting back as experiences that echo the negativity we hold within. When we speak to ourselves with harshness, we invite hardship and disappointment as reflections of that inner narrative. Transforming negative self-talk begins with recognizing the patterns you've allowed to become part of your daily mental landscape. Often these thoughts arise automatically, a result of long-held beliefs or past experiences. But once you become aware of them, you have the power to change them. Instead of letting self-criticism run unchecked, take a moment to observe these thoughts without judgment. By doing so, you can begin to replace them with affirming, positive words that support your growth rather than diminish it. When you consciously choose to speak kindly to yourself, you initiate a shift in your inner dialogue that resonates outward. Positive self-talk isn't just about repeating affirmations, it's about genuinely nurturing a sense of belief and trust in your own worth. Each time you replace a critical thought with one of encouragement, you're reinforcing a new belief in your capabilities. This compassionate approach to self-talk gradually reshapes your perception of yourself, creating a foundation of self-respect and confidence that the mirror of life reflects back to you. The effects of positive self-talk extend beyond your internal world. They impact your interactions, relationships, and even the opportunities you attract. When you speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement, you naturally project confidence, which others perceive and respond to. People are drawn to those who believe in themselves, and this self-assured energy opens doors to new connections and possibilities. In this way, your internal transformation becomes visible as your outer world mirrors back the confidence and self-respect you cultivate within. Cultivating affirming self-talk also empowers you to handle setbacks and challenges with resilience. Instead of allowing mistakes or obstacles to spiral into self-criticism, you can approach them with a compassionate and constructive mindset. Positive self-talk helps you see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than confirmations of inadequacy. This mindset not only builds inner strength, but also attracts supportive circumstances and people who reinforce this positive perspective. Over time, transforming your self-talk changes the landscape of your life. What once felt like obstacles and setbacks now appear as lessons and stepping stones. Your reality begins to reflect the confidence, support, and positivity you hold within as the world responds to the inner respect you have developed. By nurturing affirming self-talk, you create a mirror of life that shines back at you with the uplifting opportunities and connections that align with your true worth. Gratitude has a unique power to shift your perspective. drawing your attention to the richness that already exists in your life. Each time you acknowledge something you're thankful for, you amplify its presence, inviting more of the same into your world. This isn't merely a feel good practice, it's an intentional act of focusing on abundance, attuning your mind to the goodness around you. Through the mirror principle, life reflects this gratitude back to you, often in ways that seem subtle at first, but gradually unfold into a pattern of blessings and unexpected opportunities. When you practice gratitude, you train your mind to see the positive aspects of your experiences, even in challenging times. Instead of focusing on what's lacking or what's gone wrong, gratitude redirects your awareness to what is going well, to what you already have. This shift in focus creates a foundation of abundance within you, making it easier to recognize opportunities for growth and joy. The mirror life, responding to this inner abundance, starts to present more reasons for gratitude, creating a cycle of positivity and fulfillment. Expressing gratitude doesn't require grand gestures. It's often in the smallest acknowledgments that its power is felt most profoundly. Whether you're grateful for a kind word, a peaceful moment, or simply the warmth of sunlight, each expression of thanks deepens your connection to the present. This presence, grounded in appreciation, cultivates a sense of peace and contentment. As you consistently embody this attitude, the world reflects it back, bringing experiences that align with the peace and abundance you've nurtured within. Gratitude also softens your approach to life, transforming how you engage with others and the world around you. When you approach each moment with appreciation, it fosters a sense of connection and understanding. People are drawn to those who radiate gratitude, as it's a quality that resonates universally. This positive energy doesn't just affect your inner world, it shapes the outer world as well, creating relationships and interactions that are supportive and harmonious. Through gratitude, you attract connections that mirror the joy and warmth you feel inside. As gratitude becomes a natural part of your daily life, it strengthens your resilience. Challenges and setbacks, instead of diminishing your spirit, become reminders of what you have learned and gained. Gratitude allows you to see the silver linings, to recognize the lessons even in difficult times. This resilience not only fortifies your inner world, but also invites supportive circumstances and people who uplift and encourage you. In this way, the mirror of life responds to your inner gratitude, reflecting back a world that feels less daunting and more aligned with your growth. Embodying gratitude changes the way you experience life itself. You find yourself in a world that feels abundant, filled with beauty and possibility. The mirror principle reveals a reality that reflects the gratitude you have cultivated, showing you blessings in places you might not have thought to look. As you consistently practice gratitude, the world around you becomes a reflection of the abundant, prosperous life that gratitude has drawn to you, amplifying goodness and fulfilling your highest intentions. Acting as if is a powerful way to align your inner world with your desired reality, allowing you to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. When you behave as if you already possess what you desire, you immerse yourself in the feeling and mindset of that reality. This mental shift creates a resonance with your goals, signaling to life that you are ready to receive. By embodying the qualities, emotions, and actions of your ideal self, you transform your inner world, and the mirror of life begins to reflect this change back to you in the form of external circumstances that support your vision. This practice requires you to move beyond mere wishing and into the realm of intentional action and belief. Acting as if isn't about pretending or ignoring your current reality. It's about cultivating the mindset and energy that align with your aspirations. For example, if you desire financial abundance, embodying the confidence, gratitude, and calmness of someone who is financially secure sets a new standard within yourself. This inner state naturally influences your decisions, attitudes, and the way you respond to opportunities, subtly guiding you toward the reality you envision. When you adopt the feelings and behaviors of your future self, you begin to make choices from a place of empowerment rather than lack. Acting as if helps you to focus on possibilities rather than limitations. You no longer dwell on what is missing, but instead on the steps that will bring you closer to your goal. This shift in focus strengthens your confidence and attracts opportunities that align with your vision as life responds to the proactive, positive energy you project. Each action taken from this perspective reinforces the belief that your desires are not just possible but already on their way to manifestation. Acting as if also changes the way others perceive and respond to you. When you carry yourself with the poise and conviction of someone who has achieved their goals, people take notice. They begin to see you as capable and confident, and opportunities often arise from this shift in perception. This external feedback reinforces your inner state, creating a positive loop where your self belief is mirrored back through the reactions and support of those around you. Life, in turn, starts to align with the reality you have chosen to embody. Embracing the as if mindset requires consistency and a willingness to let go of old habits and thought patterns. Each time you choose to act in alignment with your desired reality, you are reconditioning your mind to accept this new standard. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to think, feel, and behave as though you already possess what you seek. This practice transforms not only your inner state, but also the energy you project into the world, creating a magnetic pull toward your dreams. Acting as it becomes more than just a tool, it becomes a way of life. You find yourself moving through the world with a sense of purpose and certainty, knowing that your actions are aligned with your highest aspirations. As you embody this mindset consistently, the mirror of life reflects your inner reality with increasing clarity, manifesting circumstances that match the belief and energy you hold within. In this way, acting as if creates a powerful synergy between your inner state and the outer world, bringing your dreams ever closer to fruition. When life feels chaotic and overwhelming, it can be tempting to try to control everything around you. But the mirror principle suggests a different approach: to seek peace within, trusting that inner tranquility will be reflected in your outer world. Chaos in your surroundings often mirrors the turbulence within your own mind and emotions. By finding stillness within, you send a message to life that you are grounded and calm, inviting harmony to appear in your external circumstances. This shift doesn't come from forcing change outside, but from cultivating a deep, unwavering peace within. Inner peace begins with the practice of mindfulness, the art of being fully present and aware of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings without judgment. When you embrace mindfulness, you create a space of calm within yourself, a sanctuary untouched by the stresses and demands of the outer world. In this state of presence, worries and anxieties start to lose their grip, and you gain clarity about what truly matters. As you cultivate this inner calm, the world around you begins to reflect it, creating experiences that align with your newfound serenity. Practicing stillness is a powerful way to nurture inner peace. Whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply spending time in nature, moments of stillness help you connect with the essence of peace that resides within you. In these quiet moments, you let go of the need to control and allow life to unfold with ease. This surrender doesn't imply passivity. Rather, it's a conscious choice to let go of resistance, knowing that the calm you cultivate will manifest as clarity and order in your outer experiences. The mirror of life, sensitive to this internal shift, responds by aligning circumstances to match your peaceful state. Inner peace also helps you navigate challenges with resilience and grace. When you are grounded in calm, external disruptions no longer shake you as easily. You gain the ability to observe situations without being drawn into the drama or chaos, seeing them for what they are: temporary events that do not define your sense of self. This stability, this inner anchor, creates a foundation that allows you to face life's ups and downs without losing your balance. As you become more centered, the world around you reflects this steadiness, and situations that once felt overwhelming now appear manageable, even harmonious. Cultivating inner peace affects your relationships as well. When you carry a calm and balanced energy, others respond in kind, mirroring the tranquility you project. Conflict and tension in relationships often dissolve when one person approaches the situation from a place of peace. This doesn't mean avoiding necessary conversations or changes, but addressing them with a calm and compassionate mindset. The peace you embody creates a ripple effect, inviting harmony into your interactions and fostering deeper, more meaningful connections with those around you. Seeking inner peace transforms the way you experience life. As you prioritize mindfulness and stillness, your inner world becomes a reflection of the harmony you desire. The mirror of life faithfully responds, bringing clarity, calm, and a sense of alignment into your external reality. This peaceful energy permeates every area of your life, creating a steady, harmonious flow that uplifts and sustains you. In this way, inner peace becomes the guiding force that shapes a reality filled with grace and balance. In embracing the mirror principle, you step into a powerful understanding. The world you see is a reflection of the beliefs, thoughts, and feelings you hold within. Every element of your reality, every relationship, every success, and every challenge echoes the energy you bring to life. By cultivating positive self-talk, embodying gratitude, and acting as if you already possess what you desire, you align your inner world with the life you envision. When you seek inner peace, the world around you responds with harmony. When you nurture self-love, the relationships that enter your life mirror that love and respect. This journey requires commitment, a willingness to look within, to transform limiting beliefs, and to consciously choose thoughts and actions that align with your highest self. But as you apply these principles consistently, you will witness the world shift in profound ways. The mirror principle doesn't just show you what is, it reveals what could be when you become the conscious creator of your experience. By embodying your dreams, speaking with kindness to yourself, and seeing every challenge as a reflection for growth, you cultivate a life that mirrors your truest aspirations. At the end, remember that the power lies within you. The reality you seek is not outside of you, it is waiting to be unlocked within. Trust in this mirror, trust in yourself, and watch as life transforms, reflecting back a world filled with abundance, love, and purpose.